Welcome back, everyone. We are two dudes talking 80s. I'm John. That's my partner in crime, Lewis.
Hello.
There's that three snaps up. Um, Today, we are actually recording on St. Patrick's Day. And because we're a couple of losers that actually don't go out, we're staying in, doing this, and enjoying drinking responsibly. Sponsorship. What are you drinking?
The wine of my people.
The wine of your people?
Yes, port wine.
Oh, I thought it was like the blood of Jesus Christ. He said it.
The guy nailed to the X.
All right, this is gonna go well. Really? So wine instead of whiskey, huh? You're kind of mixing it up a little bit.
Yeah. Throwing a little panache in there.
Okay, or did you just run out of whiskey?
I totally ran out of whiskey.
All right, cool. All right, well, tell Lulu to stop drinking all your whiskey. Anyway, this is something you came up with, and this is gonna go downhill quick. Oh, by the way, at the end of our last episode, you left us on this total cliffhanger. Did you ever figure out what the hell you were trying to talk about?
Yeah, it was oh God, what was the name? um
Okay, this is an excellent start.
it was the one with Nell Carter in it. And
Not
I
Mel.
not Mel, Nell.
I know. Corrected you last time. Give me a break.
That was it. That was it.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
yeah, it was like the younger girl that was in the family.
I think they had three
That
sisters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Go ahead.
I totally had the hots for the older sister. I think her name was Carrie Michelson. She was in Saturday the 14th. Another one of those $1.50 movies I saw at in Foster City, but loved her. All right, so good. That's we can get that off our chest. Anyway, let's talk about the new thing we're doing. So this was something Lewis came up with, and as you guys know, we love the '80s. We do, but there's some things we didn't like about them. And Lewis decided, why don't we talk about some of the stupid products of the '80s? So this was your idea. I thought it was a fun one. Of course, it was a head scratcher for me. So I'm gonna let you start off because it sounds like you have way more than I do, and I'm like, listen to you and drink.
Alrighty, excellent. So I'm gonna go with one that I actually owned, that I actually own. It was a theft deterrent device that you place in your automobile called the Club. It was marketed in 1986, invented by a James Winter Jr. He came up with this idea in the Korean War, where I guess that they would teach them to lock up the vehicles by tying a chain to the steering wheel. And so it became popularized and marketed in the 80s, and it sounded like an awesome idea. They made this thing out of, I don't know what kind of steel it was, and later they made it so that if you even froze it and you tried to break it, that it wouldn't break. The big flaw in it was that although the club itself was sort of indestructible, the steering wheel that you were putting it on was not. And you could cut through the steering wheel and get the club off of it. And what I learned in my research today was that criminals would actually look for cars that had the club, because they would then take the club out and use the club to break the steering column so they could start the car and leave.
Okay, don't say that because we still give them away. Thanks. This is not necessarily endorsed by me. That was Lewis. Oh God. Yeah. And what's funny is we give them away for free to people. And one of my absolute best volunteers, the reason she said she always, that she became a volunteer with me and my team was because she said, "Hey, do you have any of those?" I said, "Yeah, sure." And I made sure I had one for her along with her application. And she said, "Wow, this guy went out of his way for me and made sure I had it." And she still uses it to this day. And she won't get rid of it because it came from me. So bless her heart. And now you've destroyed her. Hopefully, she never watches this. All right. So I'm going to go with something. It's one thing in the gym, right? But it's another for it to be a fashion accessory. And I don't know why. Why was everyone wearing headbands in the 80s? It was dumb. Nobody was playing tennis. Nobody was out there shooting hoops. They all had to wear headbands, and it was quite the fashion accessory. I was completely against it. I think it looked really strange and awkward when you were playing. And I'm trying to think. I'm like, I probably wore a headband, for something, but I swear, I think I only wore it for the gym. I think I did it the right way. Even to this day, I think there are times when I'm like, I should really wear a headband because, after having the surgery on this eye, I've had 3 surgeries on my right eye, due to its attached retina. If if I get sweat in it, it's like it's excruciating. But I still refuse to wear a headband because of it. I don't want to look like that much of the '80s. And yeah, so that was my first choice.
Didn't Andre Agassi wear a headband a lot?
He wore, yeah, because his hair was going.
Yeah.
Brett Michaels always wore the bandana and still does. But it just seemed like Duran Duran was really big into the headbands. It was quite the thing in the '80s, Lewis. I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember that. You should
Yeah.
start wearing one. Bring it back.
I need a really big one to cover my receding hairline. Look like Mother Teresa. But yeah, I agree with you on that, man. I mean, they're functional in the gym, as you mentioned. They absorb the sweat so that it doesn't run into your eyes and it doesn't sting them. Other than that, yeah, I'm with you. I'm not a big fan of the headband.
Good. I'm a reload here. Please talk.
All right, I will. All right, one that was iconic
Damn
that
it.
I that I actually thought was in the 70s, but it squeaked in the 80s. And I hated the thing. I hated the commercial. I hated the jingle. Chia. Oh my God, it would drive me nuts. And of course, I'm talking about the Chia Pet. That was produced by Joseph Pendant of Joseph Enterprises of San Francisco, not to be confused with the Anthony's Enterprises of San Mateo. And this guy also made the clapper, which was interesting. One thing I did think that was sort of cool in my research today is that they came out with a Bob Ross version of it. So the fur would actually grow out of the doll. I thought that was sort of cool. So it sort of swayed me a little bit the other way. But other than that, I hated everything about it.
Those never bothered me, but I could see why. I remember they did come out with different ones and like different animals and people and everything. I always thought it was kind of an interesting thing. I didn't realize it was just in '80s. Personally, on doing this, I focused on things that maybe didn't come out necessarily in the '80s, but were a very popular trend because obviously headbands preceded the '80s. Um, but it just became such a trend to wear them outside. But no, that's interesting. Somebody's doing his research, stepping up his game. I like it. Even if you do look like you're going to go bowling right now.
This would actually be really rad clothing to go bowling. I think I'd enjoy that.
Did you just say rad?
I did say rad, absolutely.
Wow. You're
That
right.
deserves that deserves a drink because that's an iconic word.
Damn it. You said iconic. I would say it's choice. Oh yeah.
It's tits.
All right, you beat me. Way to one up me. All right, moving on. Um, let's see. Let's see here. All right. So I have this with a caveat because I do know that these were very popular and the people that had them loved them, so the quality was phenomenal. But I'm gonna go with laser disc players.
Okay.
Um, and the thing for me for laser disc players, like I said, everybody that had them loved them. The quality was great. They had extras and things like that. The thing that I made me think that was kind of a dumb thing is you had to turn it over.
Really? I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, and I'm lazy. I don't want to be sitting there on my couch with my drink, maybe some popcorn or a nice snack, and all of a sudden, like, you look where the person next to you, and like, okay, who's gonna get up and change this stupid thing? I don't want that in my life, and I didn't want that in the '80s. VHS tape I could watch all the way through. I didn't have to do that. Laser disc player, you did. And what's funny is actually my first DVD player. Um, I got the movie, oh geez, A Time to Kill with Matthew McConaughey, Samuel L. Jackson, because he's in everything. And the first that was the first one of the first DVDs I bought, and I had to turn that one over. I never understood. I never had any other DVD that I had to turn over, and I realized how frustrating it was to be taken out of the movie. That all of a sudden it's like, now must turn over disc. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And it was incredibly frustrating. So I know what it would have been like to have a laser disc player. And the other thing is, it just seemed like, they were the size of record albums. So it
Right.
just seemed like, even though the technology was wonderful, it just seemed like storage would be an issue. And again, the big thing for me was I don't want to get up in the middle of a movie and turn the disc over. So
Oh, for sure, man.
I do have to laugh though. I think it was the first time, or maybe the second time I was in Greece. Me and my buddy Steve, we went and saw the movie The Crow in a theater. I think it was a Sunday, so like not a lot was happening. We decided we'll go to the movies. In Greece, they stopped the movie halfway through. I'm like, what the heck happened? I thought there was like some technical issues, but they stopped the movie halfway through so you can go get another drink or go to the bathroom or whatever you needed to do and then start it again. So I guess they're used to it. I'm not. I want to watch the thing the whole way through. So Laserdisc players.
That's a good one, man. I didn't know that you had to flip them over in order to play the whole movie. I'm wondering if the movie that you saw on your DVD was like extra long or something, and then the disc just wasn't large enough, didn't have the capacity for it, and that's why you had to flip it over. That's
No,
interesting.
A Time to Kill is a pretty much standard movie. I don't think it was, exceptionally long as a movie goes. Probably was about an hour and 45 minutes. So it wasn't anything unusual.
Interesting. All right. All right. The next one I'm going to go with was one that was a big fashion thing, especially for women. I don't remember it so much on guys, but it was the jelly shoes. I hated the jelly shoes. They're like
That's
they're they were like overgrown Barbie doll shoes. It's like, why are you wearing those? It's just that's not made for people to wear. What's interesting facts that I sort of gleaned upon when I did my research was that it was originated from a shrimp fisherman's shoe that was done in the 50s. And this Brazilian guy and a Frenchman transformed it into what became a fashion icon of the 80s. That's right, John, drink. So
I
these
feel
two
so
guys
Irish.
these two guys, I guess, sort of transformed one of these shoes in their mom's kitchen or something. And they had a brother that was a chemist, and he was able to dye it different colors. And then they sold them in France for a lot more money that you can actually buy the initial fisherman's shoe at the grocery store or whatever stores that they were selling them at. So then, long story short, they became mass produced and became a big thing in the 80s.
Yeah, they were disgustingly ugly. I actually had them on my list too, so I'm in trouble now if you pick anything else. Um, but yeah, I don't think they were manufacturing for guys. And they look painful, right? I mean, I just would see, women wearing those, and they look god awful and uncomfortable. It's like, why would you wear those? You're not four. And
Yes.
in my opinion, they were the predecessors to Crocs. Now everyone swears Crocs are the most comfortable thing in the world, and I was so happy when they finally died out. And of course, they make this huge comeback now. And I see Crocs, like I see people working out in Crocs, and I don't understand that. It's like I can't imagine you get good traction out of that. I can't imagine you feel safe. Um, yeah, so Crocs for me are like the jellies of the '80s. But yeah, all right, good call.
Thank you.
I'm gonna get controversial now. Now I'm gonna get people are like, you're stupid. I don't like you. This was dumb. I'm gonna say it anyway. And I even broke my rules because I actually had this product, but I don't know why I did. Garbage Pail Kids stickers.
Wow.
Ooh, yeah, yeah. I'm going deep. It's called Liquid Courage, baby, and I'm going for it. Why did we have those? They just I don't get it. And maybe, oh, you're looking to see where you have them. Okay.
They're in a box over there.
All right. And again, I had some too, and I probably put some on a guitar case or something, but I look back on it, with a more mature mind, um, and I think that was really stupid. So I'm gonna go with Garbage Pail Kid stickers. I don't understand why we had them. I don't understand why they became so popular. I don't understand why I personally had them and why you still continue to have them. But that's my pick.
I've got a
Send
collection
me the
over there,
hate
man.
mail. What's that?
I've got a collection of them sitting over there. I was thinking of trying to get rid of them on eBay. Yeah, I always saw the Garbage Pail Kid stickers as a predecessor to the Wacky Packs, right? The Wacky Packs that came out in, I guess, the 70s. I love those things, and when they came out with these Garbage Pail Kids, I actually bought a few of them, and then I've hung on to them over the years. So, wondering if any of them are worth anything. But yeah, I'll agree with you. It's sort of ridiculous. I never even cared very much for the Cabbage Patch doll. So
How did we get the Cabbage Patch doll from Garbage Pail Kids?
because that's what they were based on, right?
I don't
The Cabbage
know.
Patch doll. Yeah,
Eh.
yeah.
Oh, so that was okay. See, I didn't do the level of research you're currently doing. You're stepping up your game.
I'm
I'm
pretty sure that's what they're
congratulating.
based off of them.
Okay, so it was kind of like FU to Cabbage Patch dolls.
Indeed.
All right, well, good to know. I'll have a drink for that knowledge that you've shared with me that you probably don't even know if it's true. Mel Carter.
All right, the next one I'm going to go with was one that I was convinced was a 90s thing, but I was very happy to find out today that I was wrong, that it was actually a late 80s thing. I had one of these things. I really actually thought it was super useful when I had it. I think it was stupid looking back on it. And the one that I had was very fluorescent colored, and it was made, I think, by Bugle Boy. I'm talking about the Almighty Fanny Pack. And I just, again, at the time, it seemed like it was a cool thing and it was useful because, you had your wallet in there if you were doing anything like roller skating or hiking. Very convenient to have it on you and not have, to worry about anything else. But yeah, it looked like you were growing a tumor out of your side or something when you wore them. It's just, it was stupid. It is stupid. And I'll leave it at that.
Well, you know that thing's cool now, right?
Is it back in
It is
style again?
back, except now you don't wear it around your waist. You wear it over your shoulder like a purse, and now it's cool.
Well, then.
I don't know. I never had one. I'm thankful to say. So I don't wear it around my waist. I don't wear it over my shoulder. Never had one. I do see why it would be, convenient. I had pockets. I was good with that. Pockets work just fine. If I need more pockets, hey, cargo pants, cool. I'll have 80 million pockets, and I don't have to wear a fanny pack. I'm just wondering. I'm trying to visualize when you were wearing a fanny pack, either hiking or roller skating.
I actually rollerbladed for a while, and
With the
that sort
fanny
of died
pack?
with my fanny pack. Yes, yes, proudly displayed on my hip. And yeah, I fell a couple of times and thought, you know what, this really isn't for me. So I sort of stopped.
What was it for you, the fanny pack or the rollerblading?
I think both of them really, but what
Okay.
really did for me was the falling down.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I saw you roller skate, so you weren't much better at that either. And ice skating, ooh, stand by.
Oh yes, yes,
All
rock
right.
star.
Um, I want to go controversial again. Actually, I don't think it's that controversial. Don't make me laugh. Um, can we discuss why the hell glamour shots was a thing as a product? I'll never forget my aunt, you know, bless her soul, she had got her license to sell real estate. And I think I want to blame my mother for this because I think my mom convinced her to go get her promotional shot for like her business cards and her business at Glamour Shots. Why? and it looks so incredibly tacky and so inappropriate. And all of those, none of those pictures look good. Like, I don't remember anyone coming back with, like, look at my photos from Glamour Shots. Oh my God, you look amazing. That's so wonderful. No, everybody looked stupid. And I don't, but it was such a popular thing in the 80s. And you'd go and you'd get your Glamour Shots. And I don't get it. I didn't get it then. I don't get it now. It was cringeworthy then. It's cringeworthy now to look back on them. It's even worse now. And yeah, and so I don't get it. Glamour Shots. It was a thing in the 80s. I don't know why. It was like one step over the J.C. Penney's or Sears photo shoots. Remember those where they had the, oh, here's a cool background. Take photos of your kids and you know, yeah. So I'm gonna go with Glamour Shots.
Oh man, that's a good one, man. Actually, I vaguely remember those, and like some of them had like laser backgrounds and funky things like that. If I'm recalling correctly, I
With
also
big
just
hair.
yes, of course, that was like the prerequisite. So yeah, I don't think I ever did any glamour shots or knew of
That's
anybody that did.
shocking that you didn't do it. I kind of I want to say your ex did them. I don't know why I'm remembering your ex doing them.
Huh? I don't recall.
All right, I know you blocked out that part of your brain, so I get it. You're not gonna recall it, but oh God, please, if somebody has their photos from Glamour Shots, please post them. I want to see them. Send them to us. I gotta see these.
That would be awesome.
I'm sure they're amazing. If I can get one, I would be a happy man. So send me
That would be
a link.
absolutely awesome. Yes, that's a super suggestion. I hope people actually get this far into the episode and hear our
Probably not.
request.
They left after you couldn't remember who Mel Carter was. So it was a very quick episode. That's okay.
All right, do I have one more here?
You have one more, sir.
All right. This one I didn't even really know about until today. And it was a toy that was invented by two Belgians in 1969. Hasbro got a hold of it and mass produced it in the 80s, and it was called a Lolo ball, or also a pogo ball. And it was sort of like if you envision a huge pacifier with both ends having the pacifying side. And what you would do is you would stand on the platform and clench your feet around the top of the top part of the pacifier, and you would jump on it like a pogo stick. And me, of course, 55-year-old, me looking at that now going, yeah, that's a stupid idea. I
I
would probably like break a hip or something at this point and die. So
Okay, well, I think pretty much any physical activity is going to probably result in us breaking a hip at this point in time. Though to be fair, I was very good. I leg pressed 810 pounds today. I'm gonna applaud myself. Um,
nice,
three,
bravo.
three times for 10 reps each, which is why I'm now drinking because everything in my body hurts. I don't. You have to send me a photo of that because I don't remember that at all. And the way you described it was completely unhelpful. And so I'm like, pacifier, and jump. Yeah, it's. I got
Let me try this. Here's one ball, right? And here's another ball, and they're attached to each other. So it's almost like a figure eight. And then around that in the center, you've got a platform. So that round platform you stand on, and you have your feet clenched around the top part so that the bottom ball that's on the bottom part is what you're bouncing up and down on.
So how is that different from a pogo stick, really? It doesn't seem significantly different.
It's not that different other than with the pogo stick, you actually have the stick to hold on to, and the stick was actually based on off of a spring motion.
Okay. So you had nothing to hold on to with this thing?
No, just your
Wow.
God.
That's some scary stuff. All right. I guess this is it for me. You did your five, right?
I did.
All right. So, this is my last one. It's not going to be controversial, I hope. Um, but I think my parents had it. I for some reason I remember your parents having it. Why was the entire toilet covered back in the 80s? Okay, we put these stupid rug things on the bowl. We put it on covering the seat. Why did we do that? It was so incredibly stupid. Okay, it's probably gonna make a comeback now. Just because it bugs me so much. I didn't understand it then, I don't understand it now. But it's like, oh cool, there's my toilet covered in fur. Why? Explain that to me,
But
Lewis.
somebody, some of them had like a little fringe or like some mini curtain or something. Oh,
Stop
that's such a
it.
good call. That's such a
Stop
good
it.
call,
That did
man.
not happen.
Oh, dude, that's so happened. That's so happened.
Am I wrong? Do I remember correctly your family having that?
I maybe I blocked it out of my memory because that's horrible. I don't remember them having that.
I
But I
remember
do
them doing it. I remember my mom doing the same thing. It's like, what is the point of this? It's like, I don't get it. It's not like I ever went in I really need a comfortable seat, something that has a rug. I'm not go sit on the toilet for a couple hours and read a good book. I mean, I've sat on the toilet and read a good book, but it wasn't, on the top. It's like, oh, look, that toilet's so pretty. It's got a nice cover. It's got its own duvet. What the hell were we thinking in the 80s? I don't get it.
That was a rather brilliant one, John. I think you won the internet with that one today.
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of stumped, and I was just flipping through it, and one of the 80s sites that I follow on Instagram actually had it. I don't remember the name of the page, but I'm like, oh my God, that's brilliant, and what perfect timing. So kudos to them, whoever it was. And yeah, so God, I swear though, I remember you. I don't know if it's that much funnier because I've been drinking or what, but I haven't had alcohol since I think the last time I was at your house.
I'm a bad influence, evidently. I
Yeah.
can't even say it. Well,
Well, I mean,
to
if you drank more often with Lulu, since she drank all the whiskey, you would be stuck with wine.
furry toilet bowl covers.
May they rest in peace.
Amen.
I really do think you had one though. I don't know why. I remember. I think everybody had one, and they were
Now that
horrible.
you mention it, now that if I'm really thinking about it, I think we did. It was just on the top lid, but yeah, it was like this fuzzy, almost yellow velourish stuff. I think you're right.
God, I wish I remember there was a comedian that talked about going to the bath. It was like in the 80s or early 90s, talking about going to the bathroom when he was drunk and peeing on it and how it sopped up all the pee. So he didn't realize the lid was closed until it was too late, and it was all sopped up in that. And I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds about right. Why the hell would we do that?
Oh man, that's awesome.
So you guys went upscale with velour. You didn't have the curtain thing.
No, I don't think we had the dainty curtain thing, but I do remember seeing those where it had like a little frill around the side. It was almost like I was wearing a skirt. It was all dainty.
Well, I know you were out earlier today at Home Depot and you were admiring some of the toilets. And hopefully now when you go back and look at those toilets and why you're looking at toilets, I don't know. But hopefully you look at them and go, huh, how would they look with a rug on top of them? I don't know I mean, I guess, a toilet seat cover,
Hmm.
but again, why? I don't know if there was actually a name for them. I just remember how stupid it looked. Oh, and then of course you had to have on top of it, you had to have the Kleenex box that had the cover on it. Oh, it's all coming back to me now. It's all coming back to me. And I know my grandmother had that. I know she had that Kleenex box with the cover. It's like, why? Why? Oh my God, this is so fancy. I'm afraid to blow my nose and take these Kleenex. I mean, what was the point? I don't know.
Let me one up you on this one. Do you remember sort of going along the same path that you just gone with the Kleenex? where they had the extra toilet roll covers that was a doll. And
We
under
had
the
one.
doll, we did too.
Yes.
Oh, I'd forgotten about
So
those.
apparently in the 80s, it was important for us to put a doll on top of our toilet paper. So no one realized it was actually a toilet paper. We'd hoped that you'd go into the bathroom and go, hey, you know what? I'm going to play with this doll for a little bit. Why?
That's scary, man. Good times, good times.
So despite everything we say, not everything was good in the 80s. If you're our age, hopefully you remember some of this stuff. And if you're not our age and you're young, yes, we did stupid shit too. What can I tell you?
Indeed, man, indeed.
So I don't know if this was a lot more fun because you picked a great topic. I don't know if this was a lot more fun because I got to stare at that incredible outfit of yours this entire time, or if I don't know if it's incredibly a lot of fun because I've been drinking this entire time celebrating St. Patrick's Day. But regardless, this was a blast and a great call, and it was wonderful going down memory lane with you. And I'm dying to see glamour shots. God, somebody get a picture. Somebody has to have a picture of their toilet covered in that stuff with the doll on top, or the macrame on top of their Kleenex cover.
That would be awesome, man. Either one of those would be absolutely awesome. So yeah, if anybody has any pictures of that, because I know that a lot of people take pictures in their bathroom.
All the
But
time,
if
baby, selfies. What up?
if you happen to have any of those photos, please post them. We'd love to see them.
Awesome. Great call, brother. This was a lot of fun. If I had to spend St. Patrick's Day at home, there's no better way to spend it than with you. Enjoying an adult beverage of our choice. Drink responsibly. We're not driving. We're at home. Hopefully, you guys are all doing the same. Look at that. That's the adult in me. See that? Anything you want to add on this wonderful topic?
No, man, I think we nailed it on this one. I think that this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, at least for us. I don't know if anybody watching this is going to have any enjoyment from it whatsoever, but I did, and that's ultimately what matters. You and I had fun with this, so it's all good.
There you go, man. There you go. That's our objective.
All right. Well, if there's anything stupid that you remember in the 80s that you can't believe existed, please put it in the comments. We love hearing it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. And Lewis, brother, take us out.
Peace out.
Thank you guys.